Welcome to Community Talk, a public affairs presentation of the MSA United Way and Super Talk 1270. Now your host, Jenna Gullo.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jenna Gullo, the director of the Missouri Slope Area-Wide United Way, and your host for today's show. And joining me today as co-host, Ms. Amber Jensen from the United Way. Welcome, Amber.
Yes, thank you.
Today we have some fantastic guests. It's all about people who are going that extra mile, taking that extra step, not sitting back and watching and discussing the problems that exist that within their families or their community, their neighborhoods, but they're really doing something about it. We're going to be having a couple of the United Way partners joining us later in the show, Rebuilding Together, that just finished up their annual, it used to be Christmas in April is what they called it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they just had their service day with many, many local volunteers doing good things. And then also Mary Severson from RSVP Plus, one of our valued partners in our community. I don't know what we would do without them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so great to have those RSVP volunteers. I mean, they're so reliable and just help our office because we're so small. We couldn't do it without them.
Well, and they help to reduce the costs of not just us, but our local nonprofit partners. And that's what United Way is all about. We're about efficiency. We're about giving in the most effective way possible. And most importantly, making the biggest impact that you can make on a community-wide scale. And we are only as strong as the good people in this community who are generous, not just of their dollars, but also of their time. We have just a remarkable young man with us today, Darius Sparks from St. Mary's Central High School. Darius, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, and thank you for this opportunity.
You know, Darius, wow, I'm honored to be in the same room as you and to be meeting you. When we were talking before the show and when I saw your story on KX, it really just brings tears in my eyes. I can't believe how what a role model you must be for so many other younger kids and also for your peers. So thank you for the work that you're doing.
Yes, thank you.
So tell our listeners, if they haven't heard your name yet, it is Darius Sparks. Tell us what you're doing and how you got started on this mission.
Well, we had a retreat for St. Mary's Central High School. As the seniors, we go on a retreat, and this year it was to St. Bernard's Mission School in Fort Yates.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea, because I actually used to go on those retreats and speak to the students at St. Mary's. Monsignor Shea would invite me along, and I mean, what a great opportunity for kids to really get together and talk about their faith and really come together as a group and, you know, become, I guess, the students and the future adults that we can all count on.
Yeah.
So what happened at that trip?
We had Mass in the morning, and then we had a lunch with them, and then right after that we had about a 2-hour recess where we just played, had fun with them, had piggyback rides, played basketball, and played tag.
And so you met Father Basil?
Yep, for the first time I met Father Basil.
If anyone listening out there has not yet met that man, wow. He is sure listening to God
guy.
And following the call, isn't he?
Yes, he definitely is.
So for people who might not have been to the mission school, explain what it is and who it's for.
The mission school is a private Catholic school. They are in, there are troubled times over there, and they're going through struggles just like anybody else, but they're more so are having, more struggles. And so that's where I had my idea for raising money for the playground idea.
So this is at Fort Yates, right?
Yep, Fort Yates.
Okay, I've been there a few times. And it's for children that live on the reservation there?
Yep.
And so any child can enroll.
Any child can enroll, yeah.
And they have kindergarten through?
I think it's sixth grade, yeah.
I think so too. Yeah, and it's just a really nice, safe place where kids, it's not just about going to school and getting your education, which is extremely important, but it's the way they run that school.
Yeah, finding their faith.
Yeah, finding your faith and feeling cared about.
Definitely.
Right? Feeling part of a bigger community.
Yes.
They do a great job there. So you went out there and you had some ideas spark.
Yeah, I had an idea. Once we had left the school, something that had popped into my head is the playground right away. I noticed that it was it was really old. It was pretty beat down also. And I said, hey, I think maybe if I write a letter sharing a personal story about myself and then talk about the playground and wanting to raise money for it, I think it would be a good idea.
Wow.
And then right from there, just kind of, I talked to my priests, I talked to the teachers, I talked to my principal, Dr. Eberle. And then from there, it just kind of took off. And we sent it to every parent of St. Mary's Central High School. And then from there, parents shared it on Facebook. And then it just kind of got, from everybody around the community. And then eventually KX News and stuff like that. And so I'm very excited and blessed for this opportunity to help these kids out.
So when did you start fundraising for this?
The fundraising happened right after basketball was over. Or it was
February-ish?
Yes, February-ish.
And so how much have you raised to date?
It's over $20,000.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. That's
power
just
of youth.
Impressive. Yeah, the power of youth, the power of one person, huh?
Exactly, yes.
So you remember this playground?
Yep, I do. I once went there when I was a first grader for a couple of weeks, and then I moved on to my next school, but the same playground, it looks the same from when I was there.
And how old are you now, Darius?
I'm 19 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah.
So it needs a lot of tender loving care, huh?
It needs a little change, yeah.
And so how much do you think the playground is going to cost? And have you reached that goal? And what other things are you wanting to do after this?
I've talked to several people, and for a fairly good playground, it's around $30,000.
$30,000. So you're almost
and so
there.
we're almost there, and which is awesome. When I talked to Father Basil, he said he would be happy if I got even just 1,000.
Wow.
And so where we're at today, it's amazing.
Wow.
So
no, you go ahead.
if
Amber.
people want to help out, how do they get in touch, or how do they contact you for that last 10,000?
If people want to help me out, or get that last 10,000, you have to send a check signed to Loxie, and then you have to send it to St. Mary's Central High School. So all the money is going there, and then once we have all the money together, we're going to send it to St. Bernard's Mission School.
Fantastic. Okay, so they can send it to St. Mary's Central High School. We will put that information on our website at United Way. Our website is msaunitedway.org. We'll also put the information on our Facebook page. Like us on Facebook. That's Facebook.com/MSAUway. And so we'll make sure everyone has that information. Darius, don't leave quite yet. We want to continue talking with you. I want to learn more about who you are as a person, what's motivated you to go far beyond, what any normal high school kid is doing in today's day and age. And so join us. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We want to tell you more, too, later in the program about one of our great programs, RSVP Plus. We have Mary Severson joining us. We also have Rebuilding Together. Join us in just a couple minutes at United Way's Community Talk on Super Talk 1270. Welcome back to United Way's Community Talk. I'm your host and MSA United Way Executive Director, Jenna Gullo. And joining me today is the Marketing and Events Coordinator, Amber Jensen.
Yes, glad I could be here.
Thanks, Amber, for helping out. We're speaking with two United Way partners about their exciting work during the show. But right now, we still have on a local high school student who is just absolutely remarkable. Darius, you go to St. Mary's High School, and you have been one to not let any grass grow under your feet. When you have an idea, you really move forward and go forward with it. That is just really amazing what you've accomplished so far. Share with our listeners what you're working on right now.
I'm working on raising money for a playground for St. Bernard's Mission School in Fort Yates.
Wow. And you've raised since February how much?
I've raised over $20,000. I shouldn't say but, the help of the community and, my family members and supporters. So I'm very grateful for them. Well,
and you go to St. Mary's Central High School, and that's just such a wonderful and caring environment to be at with Tom Eberle as the principal. He's just such a great person. He's been a United Way volunteer and supporter. And so what is it about St. Mary's that really motivates you to want to give back and to be able to, really do more than maybe most kids would do this day and age?
Well, St. Mary's is a special place. I think because it's a smaller school, you have a lot of supporters, and the parents are very supportive. The kids are very supportive also. And I think that my past really fuels my fire, really, of what I want to do to give back to the community. St. Mary's helps me with that because I have the opportunity and I have the backup to do so. And
that support makes a difference in a kid's life, don't you think?
It really does.
How long have you been at St. Mary's?
4 years.
4 years.
All 4 years.
You were saying that that's the longest you've been in one school at any time?
The longest I've ever been at a school, yep. Because before that, I was either half there, or I went there 1 year and then I was off to another school. So,
Sin, why were you moving from school to school so much during your childhood?
I moved to different schools because my mother struggled with drugs and alcohol growing up, and she was a single mother trying to raise me and my sister. And so struggling with her addiction, she couldn't hold a job, couldn't keep money or pay for rent. And so we were either homeless or moving around a lot from place to place, whether that's a shelter or living with family members. And so I had to go to different schools. I had to worry about where I was going to sleep some nights, where my next meal was going to come from. Just worries that some kids shouldn't have to worry about. And so with that struggle that I do have, that I went through, I don't want any kid to go through that. And so that's why this playground idea is just a small part of what I want to do for kids and in the community.
Growing up in that type of environment, we were talking on break about foster care. And what do you think kids who are in foster care just really need the most?
They really need a caring home, caring parents that love them and treat them like one of their own, is what I would say. And that's exactly what I have now. Yeah,
your foster parents, I think we should give kudos to them, Mike and Janelle Schmitz. Mike's our accountant at Widmer-Roe, and just really fantastic, caring, loving people. And they've really created a home for you.
They definitely did. They're amazing people.
Yeah. It's just awesome. It's awesome when people open up their homes like that. But, more so, don't just talk about youth, don't talk about issues that we're seeing, but actually do something about it. That's exactly what you're doing, Darius. We are just so proud of you and honored to have you on our show. What do you think peers, your friends, need to have that same motivation and drive? And is it, I know a lot of kids want to help, but sometimes they don't feel like they have the capability of doing something as important as what you're doing.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids in this day and age think that they can do things on their own, that they're the boss and they don't need help. The biggest thing with me was I said, I need help. I need adults in my life. I need people to support me to get where I need to go. I don't have all the answers.
Wow. You are so mature, because at any point in life, we all need that. We need that all the time. We're only as good as our mentors and our leaders are. I say that all the time to my board members. Gosh, I'm so grateful that I have you and your guidance and wisdom, and to learn that at such a young age.
Yeah, and it's great to be living in this community where those people are supporting you. They're at your doorsteps, just wanting to be asked by youth. And I think, like you said, if youth just will step up and ask, but, why do you think they're not asking? What are maybe some of those barriers that's holding them back from asking that question of help? Because not everybody likes to ask that either.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids are almost, I don't want to bash my, what's the word I'm looking for?
Your closest circle. Because I'm sure you hang around with a lot of kids that are probably like you. It's like we all do in life. We gravitate towards people sometimes that are similar. But in general, what have you seen? Because I'm sure, you've been on a lot of different walks of life, and you've been exposed to quite a bit at your age.
Yes, I have, at a very young age. Yeah, I had to grow up fast. I think adults think that they don't want to reach out to kids because they think that whatever they're going to say to the kids might be lame. And so they're scared to reach out to the kid. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I usually am pretty lame. Yeah, and so that's interesting. So adults just need to
ask them any, question they want to, whether that's a kid that's in the grocery store that's working the counter, ask them where they're going to college, what they're doing, how their day was, anything little like that will help a kid out a lot, because it's the adult that's reaching out. It really does help, because a lot of kids need that. They need somebody to reach out to them and see how they're actually doing, where they're going, just little things like that.
Just even if it's as little as a smile.
Exactly.
And that's
simple
so true.
hi goes far.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think friends your age are struggling with today?
I think definitely getting into the wrong groups, drugs and alcohol probably, not staying positive, staying in school. I think school's a big one. Kids need to stay in school to, better their future, definitely. Just things like that, I would say.
It just really seems like you're going after this world like a wrecking ball. What are your plans for the future?
My plans for the future, I'm going to graduate high school. I'm going to, go to the University of Mary to play basketball, and hopefully
congratulations.
Thank you, and have a great career there.
And then you're going to come work at United Way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Perfect. We've got it all planned out for you, Darius.
I think we have an internship even while you're going to school, so we can start them right off. Huh?
Well, that's so
awesome.
true. Get some experience, build up that resume. Not like you'll need our help to do that. Well, Darius, thank you. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. You are just a breath of fresh air. We appreciate and value you as we do so many other youth in the community, but thank you for being that leader for people that really need you. And if you ever need United Way, we are here supporting you 100%.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and I'm blessed to have this opportunity. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. We'll be back in just a few.